vlog. This is Kenzie.
Hi, babies.
Kenzie, Jay. We've got Em and Claire. We're gonna see Laverne Cox. Laverne Cox, not clocks. Laverne Cox. Ain't I a woman? Yeah, I have to show that.
I love Orange too. Laverne has earned numerous honors and awards for her work and her advocacy. She's the first out trans person to be featured on the cover of Time magazine and to be nominated for an Emmy in an acting category and to a wax figure at Madame Tussauds. She holds 2 Screen Actor Guild Awards for her work with the ensemble of Orange is the New Black. She won a Daytime Emmy for producing the documentary Laverne Cox Presents the T-Word. An advocate with an empowering message of moving beyond gender expectations to live more authentically, she was also named one of Time Magazine's 100 Most Influential People, one of Glamour Magazine's 2014 Women of the Year, one of the Grio's 100 Most Influential African Americans, among other accolades. As she continues to be a major voice driving transgender awareness and equality, Laverne's message continues to resonate with audiences and drive positive change on a global scale. She will be here soon. I think I read too quick. Please join me in welcoming Laverne Cox.
Yes, this podium is like a little askew. That's going to be interesting tonight. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Oh my gosh. I love you back. Hey! Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Shane, for that lovely introduction. Please make some noise for Shane. I was a moment just a few years ago in New York City. I was walking down the street and in my neighborhood in Midtown Manhattan, I passed this man on the street. As I passed him, he said, "You're like a man who can really fight." And I'm looking around, I was like, who is he talking to? And there was no one else around, and he didn't appear to be on a Bluetooth or headphones. So this guy was talking to me. Now, mind you, I'm a very practiced New Yorker. I'm very good at walking down the street and sort of, not making eye contact with people. I think I was going to the deli to get some Doritos, so I was really focused. I had nacho cheese on my mind, so I was not really thinking about this guy, and he basically took me having the audacity to leave my apartment as myself as a moment to harass me, to make me feel unsafe, and I did feel unsafe, but I got out of that situation safely. But this makes me think about another time from my life, and that happened in the spring of 2008. I remember I was, again, walking in my neighborhood in Midtown Manhattan, minding my own business. I remember this was the day before my final interview for a reality show I did back in 2008 called I Want to Work for Diddy. Some of you might remember it. Yes, I did that. I own my past, my reality TV past. And so I remember I was going to buy a scarf, and I was excited, and I remember I had my headphones on, and I remember I was listening to Beyonce Upgrade You. I was probably doing the choreography but then I probably was. And then as I was about to approach a group of young men, and so I'm again a practiced New Yorker, so I was making myself more aware of my surroundings. So I turned my music down just to be a little bit more alert. And as I turned my music down, I heard from this group of young men anti-gay slurs. I heard anti-trans slurs. One of them yelled, "That's a man," and then one of them kicked me. And I remember being stunned for a moment. I was like, this just really happened to me. And I immediately retreated into a nearby store and called the police. And by the time the police got there, the perpetrators had left the scene. And even though I actually have quite a bit of trauma still from that having happened to me, I feel very lucky that is the worst of what's happened to me in terms of violence, at least as an adult. Much worse things happen in terms of violence as a kid that we don't have time to go into tonight. I feel lucky because that is the worst of what's happened to me, because for far too many trans people across this nation, it is much, much worse. On August 17th of 2013, a young woman by the name of Laverne Nettles was walking down the street in Harlem, New York. She was walking with a few of her friends, and she was catcalled by a group of young men. One of the young men realized that she was transgender. Actually, one of the guys realized she was transgender. The main guy who was hitting on Laverne Nettles said, "Are you a man?" And before she could answer, he punched her in the face. She fell to the sidewalk. He continued kicking her. By the time the police arrived on the scene, this happened across the street from a police precinct, by the way, she was already brain dead. And 5 days later, her mother, Dolores Nels, had to make the difficult decision to take her 21-year-old daughter off of life support. Now, Alana was just getting her life together. She had just gotten a new apartment, a new job, and this person took her walking down the street as herself and wanting to have this experience of catcalling her, and he basically took all of this. There's so many different layers of what happened with this moment. Okay, I'll repeat the question. Talk to me, Emma.
Okay. As a trans woman of color in Hollywood, what has been your most rewarding experience in your career?
Just having one. Emma asked me what has been the most rewarding experience in my career as a trans woman in Hollywood. I'll believe this here. And the fact that I even have a career, it feels like a miracle. For many, many years, I didn't get to talk about this tonight, I was going on auditions and going to acting classes and training, and just, I love acting so much, and not really getting any, right? Not getting any traction, not really getting it, and that there was, my brother would even say to me, you know, there's nobody in the mainstream like you. You should do like your little one-woman show and you create your own thing and, you know, sort of be content with that. And I kept going and I kept trying. So the fact that I even have a career it feels like a miracle. So I'm grateful for every single day that I get to do what I love, because I know tomorrow's not guaranteed. Thank you.
I know.
Thank you.
I want to go ask her if I can have a picture.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. My name is Michael, and my pronouns are he, him, his. I've been an RA here for 3 years, and I've had the pleasure and opportunity to be in a hall that helps with people who are, you know, trying to find their own identities. And honestly, the work that you've done for them has been tremendous. I mean, throughout the experience, the advocacy that you've done, a lot of people are really appreciating that, and seeing that firsthand with my residents has been a great pleasure.
Thank you.
Going along with all that, there's been a lot of fear, especially with not only my own residents who are going through these experiences, but with a lot of people that I talk to about the current administration and maybe how they may or may not view certain things. What kind of advice can you give for people who are going through these transitions, but who are worried about, you know, maybe instead of us taking steps forward, possibly taking steps backwards?
On a policy level, I would say we certainly have taken steps backward. I mean, I think when the current administration rescinded the Obama administration's guidelines around how trans students should be treated in schools earlier this year, that was a good example of us going backwards, and that affected Gavin Graham's case going to the Supreme Court. What I would say to that, though, is that we must, particularly for LGBT people, for people of color, and in this country, for women, we have, for the most of this country's history, LGBT people, people of color, women have been basically almost second-class citizens, if not second-class citizens. And in the face of that, we have found ways to build community, to thrive even, to create. Black folks have created some of the most amazing art and some of the most amazing inventions, and LGBT people have, and women have. And in the face of all kinds of discrimination, we have found ways to thrive. And that is our history, that is who we are. And so we will survive this. So I think I always like to look back at my history as a trans person, as a woman, as an LGBT person, as a black person, for strength, because my ancestors have created a path. And if we just look at our history, we'll know that we have endured a lot, and we can endure this. All right?
Thank you so much.
But we resisted, and we stayed woke.
We loved her.
Loved her. Emily loved her, clearly.
It was awesome.
I thought it was pretty. I have to go.
She's very articulate. She's like
Yeah.
a speaker.
Yeah, I liked her little hair, like she kept doing that. I really
She's
appreciated
beautiful.
that. She
Even though I
really
couldn't
is.
really see her, I could tell she was
Well,
beautiful.
Claire didn't have her contacts in, so she
Or
was
my
blind the
glasses,
entire
yeah.
time. Yeah, she just couldn't see. I don't know how she does that. I have my glasses on because this is a newer prescription. But I thought she was awesome.
She was.
I really appreciated her
I think she
questions.
liked us too.
Yeah,
As
or
much
her
as
answering
you.
questions rather. I was kind of annoyed that everybody started off with how much they really liked her,
that's
but they
what I
couldn't get it
said.
out. So they kept saying the same thing, but they kept like
Listen,
stuttering,
I
and
said
I'm like,
to Emily, I said, they know how great they are.
yeah,
you don't
she
have to tell them.
understands. Like, I'm like,
And all she's gonna say is thank you.
Yeah,
she's
I'm like,
gotta be thankful.
we understand your appreciation. I would just say like simply thank you for being here.
Thank you for being
Here's
here.
my
Here's my
question.
question. Exactly.
Yeah. Or you've done a lot for me. Here's my question. But they took like 10 minutes to get it out. I was like, oh my gosh.
Like, I know what I've done. Exactly.
But I have terrible
Big fan. Our school brings great programs.
Yeah, we do. We had DNC here on Friday.
Yeah, Kesha.
Kesha's came.
Who else?
I was really about to say Hannah Montana, but that's not true.
Hoodie Allen. Hannah Montana was not here. I wish.
I know. I don't know where I got that from.
Who else has Central brought?
Tim Gunn.
Tim Gunn was here on
Alan Barker's
whatever.
Friday, Saturday.
Alan Barker.
Alan Barker.
Founder
of
Girls on the Run is coming tomorrow.
Yep.
So yeah, pretty cool school.
I thought he had no.